An overlooked fact: nearly half of all heart attacks and strokes occur in people who never showed any typical warning signs before. No chest pain, no shortness of breath, just small signals in the legs and feet where arteries begin to narrow first. If you're over 50, still gardening, still driving, still feeling fine, the question to ask is, am I missing any signs? Because plaque buildup in the arteries is like sediment in a water pipe. It builds up little by little until the flow weakens, and you don't notice until it's almost blocked. The good news is your body always whispers before it screams. And if you listen in time, you can reverse course, helping blood flow back to your legs, keeping your steps steady, and easing the strain on your heart. In this video, I'll show you 7 warning signs of blocked arteries in the legs and feet that many people mistake for muscle strain, arthritis, or cold weather. Each sign comes with a simple way to check it at home, when to see a doctor, and 3 small daily habits that can help open the flow again. No scare tactics, just clear, practical information so you can feel confident protecting yourself and still have the strength to stroll with your grandkids after dinner. If your legs get tired quickly, your feet change color, or you wake up at night with cramps, stay to the end. Because one of these signs is what many US cardiologists call a red flag, an early clue that often starts right in your feet. Let's explore together. First, remember this. When the arteries in your legs begin to narrow, the body tries to compensate. It opens small bypass channels so blood can keep moving. That's why you might still walk, still work, still feel fine. But beneath that fine is silent under circulation until your legs begin to send signals. If you can read those signals, you can stop the worst before it starts. The first and most common sign: pain or heaviness in the calves when walking, that eases when you rest. It may sound simple, but it's the first cry from your arteries. According to the Cleveland Clinic, cramping or tightness in the calves while climbing stairs or heavy legs during a walk is a classic symptom of peripheral artery disease, PAD. When you move, your muscles need oxygen, but narrowed arteries can't deliver it fast enough. The pain goes away when you stop because your oxygen demand drops. I remember a man in Texas, Joe, 61 years old. He thought his legs were just getting weaker with age. But when he finally got checked, doctors found one of his leg arteries was more than 70% blocked. After 3 months of regular walking and cutting back on fatty foods, he told me, "I can climb hills again without stopping." The second sign: cold, discolored, or persistently numb feet. This is the one most people overlook, assuming it's just poor circulation or cold weather. But in truth, it's one of the earliest warnings of poor blood flow to the limbs. When not enough blood reaches your feet, their temperature drops, and you can often tell just by touching them. If one foot feels noticeably colder than the other, that's a strong sign blood flow is restricted on that side. According to the American Heart Association, people over 50 with narrowing arteries often notice slightly purple toes, pale skin, rough texture, or tingling, especially at night. Press your finger into your foot. If it turns white and takes several seconds to pink up again, your blood flow is already slowed. That means your arteries are beginning to clog. At this stage, it's reversible, but if you ignore it, tissues in your feet can start to suffer from chronic oxygen loss. Many people only realize too late when their toes darken or small, painless sores appear that are actually early tissue damage. A woman in Florida shared her story. Every night, her feet felt cold in her air-conditioned room. She assumed it was just poor circulation, rubbed oil on them, and wore thick socks. Months later, one foot stayed cold and numb, no matter what she did. A Doppler ultrasound showed almost no blood was reaching her ankle. Luckily, after early treatment and light walking therapy, her foot warmed up again and the numbness disappeared. A vascular specialist at the Cleveland Clinic put it this way: when an older adult says one of their feet is always cold, especially just one side, that's almost always a red flag. The feet are the farthest point from the heart, and they're the first to speak up when the circulatory system struggles. Sometimes, a pale or bluish tone in your skin means blood isn't carrying enough oxygen. If you notice dry, cracked skin, thinning hair on your legs, or thickened toenails, it's not just aging. It's your body's way of saying the cells aren't getting nourished anymore. Try this. Place your hand over the top of your foot. If it feels cold or the pulse at your ankle is weaker than before, don't ignore it. That's your body's early alert, giving you time to act before arteries close off completely. The third sign, slow-growing toenails or wounds that take forever to heal. It sounds trivial, but it's a classic clue that your skin isn't getting enough nutrition. Blood is the delivery system for oxygen and proteins that rebuild tissue. When that road is blocked, everything slows down, even nail growth. You might notice your toenails take longer to grow back after cutting, or that small scratches linger for weeks. Some people see flaky skin, cracked heels, or tiny sores they blame on tight shoes. But really, these are wounds from undernourished tissue, and if ignored, they can become ulcers. Mayo Clinic experts say this is especially common in people with diabetes, smokers, or high cholesterol. When blood doesn't reach the skin, it thins, weakens, and struggles to repair itself. A 65-year-old man in Arizona once told me he got a small scrape while mowing the lawn. He thought nothing of it. 3 weeks later, it still hadn't healed and had become tender. Doctors found his lower leg artery was 80% blocked. After treatment, he told me, "I never knew a small cut could say so much." So if you notice slow healing sores or sluggish nail growth, don't just apply cream and move on. Check your blood flow, because the real problem might not be your skin, but the arteries beneath it. Your feet and nails, though small, are windows into your circulatory health. If you pay attention early, you could save not just your legs, but your heart. The fourth sign, pain when lying down, relieved by sitting up. Many older adults describe it as a deep ache, especially at night. You try to find a comfortable position, but your legs keep burning, tingling, or throbbing. Then you sit up, let your legs hang off the bed, and suddenly the pain fades. That's a textbook sign of advanced blood flow restriction. When you lie flat, your heart must pump blood against gravity down to your legs. If your arteries are narrow, that pressure isn't enough. Your muscles and nerves don't get enough oxygen, and they start to ache. Sitting up lets gravity pull blood downward, bringing quick relief. Doctors at the Cleveland Clinic warn, if leg pain makes you change position to sleep, see a vascular specialist immediately. This isn't a temporary poor circulation anymore. It's a serious stage where tissues are already suffering. The fifth sign, erectile dysfunction in men. It's a sensitive topic, but one of the earliest and most accurate signs of artery blockage. The Massachusetts General Hospital found that penile arteries are among the smallest in the body, about half the width of a pencil, so they're often the first to clog. When blood flow drops, erectile ability declines, often 3 to 5 years before clear heart disease shows up. Many men seek help for performance issues, only to discover their coronary arteries are already 50 to 60% narrowed. Cardiologists call this the silent red flag because the body is warning that circulation everywhere is under strain. If you're experiencing this, don't just blame hormones or stress. Check your blood vessels in your heart and in your legs. When your blood starts flowing freely again, both heart and vitality return naturally. The sixth sign, dizziness, fatigue, or unusual weakness while walking. This one fools many people. They think it's just aging. But when arteries narrow, the heart has to work twice as hard to push blood through. Even a short walk can cause your pulse to race, your breathing to shorten, or your vision to blur. According to Johns Hopkins University, people with low leg blood flow have triple the risk of developing coronary artery disease. You're not tired because you're old. You're tired because your body is compensating for a blocked flow. If you've ever had to stop midway upstairs to catch your breath, it may not be fitness. It may be your heart struggling to keep up with your legs. The seventh sign, nighttime leg cramps, especially in the calves and toes. You're asleep and suddenly a sharp pain wakes you up. You stretch or massage it and it eases. When the body rests, already limited blood flow drops even more, muscles cramped from lack of oxygen. Many blame calcium deficiency, but if this happens nightly, it's a sign arteries are significantly narrowed. And here's one vital truth. Even if you have none of these symptoms, that doesn't mean your arteries are perfectly healthy. The American Heart Association reports that more than 40% of people with severe blockages show no clear symptoms until their first heart attack or stroke. Why? Because the body is clever. When one artery narrows, it builds side roads, small new vessels to reroute blood. That works for a while, but eventually those roads can't handle the pressure. All it takes is one cholesterol fragment to rupture, and the whole system can collapse in minutes. So don't wait for chest pain or shortness of breath. A simple Doppler ultrasound or ABI test can show how well your arteries are flowing. It's painless, quick, and could save your life. I once met a man in Seattle, 58 years old. He saw a doctor just because his foot felt a little cold at night. It turned out his thigh artery was 60% narrowed. Thanks to early detection and small lifestyle changes, his circulation returned to normal in 3 months. He smiled and said, "If I hadn't gone in for something that small, I might not be here to tell this story." If any of these sound familiar, don't panic, see them as an opportunity to take control. Arteries don't clog overnight, and they won't clear overnight either. But every step you take, every meal you choose, lightens your heart's burden. Now you see, symptoms in your legs and feet are never just small things. They're your arteries whispering every day. The body always speaks before it breaks down. Sometimes we're just too busy to listen. A cramp at night, a numb toe, a short walk that feels harder than it should. All are signals, not to scare you, but to remind you to care for yourself. The good news? It's never too late. Harvard researchers found that even after 60, just 15 minutes of walking daily, eating more greens and fatty fish, and getting proper sleep can soften artery walls, restore smooth blood flow, and warm your feet again. When blood flows freely, the heart beats lighter and the mind feels clearer. If this video helps, subscribe for more content on heart and vascular health. Leave a comment. Which step will you start with tonight? I read them all because your story might help someone else recognize the signs early. And if you have friends or loved ones over 50, share this video with them. Sometimes, one timely reminder can save a heart. Remember, age doesn't weaken the heart. Ignoring your body does. So tonight, as you lie down, know that every slow breath, every steady beat, is proof your body is still trying. It just needs you to listen. Sleep deeply, walk steadily, and stay strong for many more years with those you love.